Good afternoon and welcome to my hobby bench once again. Today we are going to take a stroll through the past once again with another one of my RCModeler magazines. This one is the March edition of 1988, which was a good year for the hobby because, well, that's when I got involved in it. So it was a good year for the hobby for me. This is when I began to spend buku amounts of money pouring into this hobby. So I've done these RCModeler look-throughs in a variety of different ways, and I'm not really going to change anything much here this time. What I've done is I've gone through this magazine, I've put tabs on pages that are of interest, and I'm looking at ads, articles, everything basically. I'm not going to be reading any articles, but I'll be talking about some of these things. So I have a pretty good memory of the ads that I've looked at before, so I'm not going to linger on too many of the... I will do the very best I can not to just show ads that I've shown before. So this is going to be, as much as possible, all new stuff, and then basically just kind of a stroll down memory lane of looking through this RCModeler magazine. So with that said, let's get to the table and look at this magazine in 4K. Okay, so here is the cover of the March 1988 issue of RCModeler magazine, and as you can see here, I've got quite a few tabs to go through, so I'm going to do the best I can just to keep this in frame here, and we're just going to start going right into it. So the very first one here is a K&B ad for the ever famous and popular, at least I've had one or two of them before, the K&B 65 Sportster engine. Very quiet engines, really nice, and I enjoyed the ones I had. Sometimes some of these have a page right on the back here. So here's the next one. Carl Goldberg Eagles. Now this was just prior to, this is I think it was March 1988. This is just prior to when the Eagle 2 came out, I believe, which is the very first kit that I ever built. So this looks like it's the Eagle 63. An OS ad for the FP series of engines. The ever famous and ever popular OS FP series. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Ace RC and the Seamaster 40. This was a kit that was, very big when I lived just 30 miles south of Higginsville, Missouri, and we'd go up to the Ace RC. They had an annual summer lake fly because they had a lake fly there. It was just, can't remember what it was called, a lake fly, something like that. There was all kinds of Seamasters there. I never had one, but I like the Ace RC products. Here's one for gas engines, Zenoa Quartz engines, distributed by World Engines. And here's the G23, G62, G38. Just look at these big gas engines, and these things were big and heavy, and essentially, things have changed a lot with the gasoline engines today, but these were essentially just weed eater engines or chainsaw engines that were converted to swing a prop, basically. More World Engines. This is the ASP ad. Now, any of you that don't know and have always wondered, what does ASP stand for? And I've known this for many, many years because I had these. It stands for Acceleration, Speed, and Performance. That's what ASP stands for. It's not ASP. It's not any other acronym. It's Acceleration, Speed, Performance. That's what that stands for. And this, it looks like they're showing an old FSR style. And this is the ASP 40 FSR ABC engine. This is for Ed in the UK. Some boat ads. So here you go, Ed. Another Midwest products. Midwest made fantastic kits. Oh, Ed, here's an article. I can make a scan of this for you if you want. Victor Models Products Stars and Stripes Sailboat. Anyway, the Aerostar, the best of everything. This was really a fine trainer. I never had one, but it has a flat bottom airfoil. Just a great trainer. I did have the Midwest Citabria, and that was one of my favorite airplanes. Okay, next is an article by, let's see, who are these guys? Bill Evans and Hank Bishop. So these are scimitar style airplanes, and back in it was probably 91 or so, it was before I moved from Missouri to Illinois, I had a Bill Evans Polestar scimitar. It was a 40 size plane, about like this one here. Man, that thing was fun. That was a great flying plane. You couldn't hardly stall it out at all. So here's a whole article on the Desperado 60 and 3000. I don't know that I'll do anything with this unless somebody wants a scan of it, then I'll do that for them. Here's I don't know if you pronounce that pica or pica. I always said pica, I think. Always had some really good scale kits. This is a review of the Top Flight Kittiwake. Now, I've usually always seen these Kittiwakes with the single float on there, but you could actually make it so that it was just a land-based plane also. Top Flight made some very, very awesome kits, as many of you know. This one, they had a Futaba Conquest 6-channel radio and an OS FSR engine installed in that. And again, that's another review or article that if somebody would like me to scan, I can do that. This one I have shown once before, and I'm showing it again just because it's so near and dear to my heart. This is Balsa USA's ad, and the reason I'm showing this yet again here is because I just like these Ace RC 440s, or the 4 series. They call them the Ace 4-cycle squadron, and why do I like them so much? Because as far as I know, this was the only company and only line of kits that was specifically designed to be flown with 4-stroke engines. Not this and that. These were specifically, I mean, sure, you could put a 2-stroke on there, and many people did, but this was designed, these kits were designed for 4-cycle engines, and that was what was awesome. And one of the earliest people I knew flying with had an Ace 440 with a Sato 45 in it, and it was just the sweetest, it was a 440 Bipe. Sweetest flying plane and sounding. Oh, it was just unbelievable. That was probably the guy in the plane and the engine that got me into my first 4-strokes. So here's an Airtronics ad. We've not seen these Spectra systems before, and honestly, I don't ever remember seeing these. I don't ever remember, when I was getting into the Airtronics stuff, I was looking at the Vanguard series. So I never saw these. Now, obviously, this dual conversion receiver looks very familiar, but I don't remember these transmitters. I never saw any like this. Next, we have an Engine Clinic article. Now, this article can be found on the Scepter Flights review, and I've referenced this article in the past before. And this one is on the Fox 45 BBRC, which I used to have one of those. Right now I got a Fox 40 BBRC in a closet right behind me. So this is one of those nice reviews from Clarence Lee. Again, if you want to see that in depth more, you can go to the Scepter Flights page because that one's on there. Okay, so this one here, again, another Fox ad. The Fox 40 Deluxe. This is exactly the engine that's in the closet right behind me here. That's the only reason I selected this one. And here, we're going to Tower Hobbies again now. Why did I select this? Specifically for this ad here. This is for the the 61 FSR Special Edition. Now, I don't know how long they made this special edition, but let me read this. Because of overwhelming demand by modelers, OS has decided to make one last production run of this popular engine that was discontinued in 1986. Featuring a distinctive gold anodized cylinder head, the Type 7L carburetor for improved power, and the special edition imprint on the case. The 61 FSR Special Edition will be a great collector's piece since no more will ever be produced. And the thing that really kind of sucks about that, I guess, is I used to have one of those, and then I stupidly sold it. And you can see it on my channel here, too. Another, oh, this is oops, crap, I just pulled off 2 of those, and now I got to try and figure out where that one went. Another OS ad. Actually, it's Great Plains, but OS. This is for the SF series of engines. Now I gotta flip here real quick and try to figure out where that was. Say, Cadet Senorita. Ed, here's more power boating. If you want a scan of this article, let me know. Where was I here? It seemed like I was pretty close to the end. Oh, that's an evaluation of the Challenger 620 and 720 RC systems. That's an interesting article. Okay, I guess we're just kind of going to flip through here until I figure out which one of these things. Electric Cub. Who cares? Until I figure out what it was that I had bookmarked here. Perry Pumps. Ah, it was this. Another review, awesome review. The Dynaflight Fun Scale Mustang. Neat looking thing, but one of the things that caught my eye about this particular review is it's got a Sato 80. They used the Sato 80 in this kit, in this review kit. It says here the summary, we liked. Easy to build, easy to fly, relaxed flight characteristics and price. We didn't like the marginal instructions, ground handling, and weak nose structure. I'm curious about the weak nose structure. I'll have to read this article and figure out what that is. But Dynaflight made some really, excuse me, some really cool kits also. And I think the final one I've got here, bookmark, is this right here. This is an interesting one because I bet you many people have never even heard of these engines. Bluebird engines. Bluebird 25, and I think they actually, yeah, 28 also. So I had either a 25 or a 28 or both, and I believe I should have titled it Bluebird. So if you do a search, and I haven't done it lately, do a search for Bluebird engine or Bluebird on my channel page, you'll see that I did have a couple of these at one time. They were really, really nice engines. It's a AAC engine, so it's an aluminum piston, aluminum sleeve that's chromed. Not ABC, AAC. So these are really cool engines. And that pretty much does it. There was no real good ones on the back cover or inside back cover. They're all RC car stuff. So that concludes this walk through the past of March 1988 RCModeler magazine. Okay, so that was a fun step through the past in looking through this magazine. There was a lot of good stuff in this magazine. A lot of good stuff in this one. So like I said several times in there, if any of you saw ads, articles, or anything that you'd like a scan of, I don't have a problem making a scan of it, but the only caveat is you have to email me. That's the only way I'm going to be able to get a scan to you is via email. Obviously, I can't put a picture or a PDF on the comments of the video, so you'll have to email me for that, and I'll put up instructions here right at the end here so you can quickly find out how to email me. So, again, thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.